WrestleMania 39, night one. As you see, my furry little daughter just made a cameo just now. We got night one. Remember, that's going to be kicking off with John Cena and Austin Theory singles match for the United States Championship. I've got to go with Austin Theory on this one. When it's all said and done, John Cena, he's got various projects that he's working on right now. Some stuff is in pre-production and everything. Matter of fact, I think one of those that's in pre-production, I think he's getting ready as we speak to film the second season of his HBO Max show. I'm trying to think of the name of the character he plays. I don't know why, but I always keep forgetting the name of that DC character. And give me a second here. I'll just type it in real quick. It sucks that I keep Peacemaker. I don't know why I keep forgetting that. Peacemaker. Probably because I've yet to watch an episode, but I keep hearing good things about the damn show. But yeah, Cena's got so many different projects that's going on right now. I'm not seeing John Cena popping up out there the night after WrestleMania as the new United States champion. It'd be badass and everything, but nah, that just it ain't happening. This is all about Austin Theory. And I told you guys some months back how they were taking the scenic route with Austin Theory and everything. And it's been an incredible journey so far with what they've been able to do with the character. Make no mistake about it. Austin Theory, he is going to be, and to his credit, he's let it be known on social media and in interviews that he wants to be that go-to man for what it's worth. He wants to be that company guy. He wants to have the company be put on his shoulders, much like Cody Rhodes and everything. I can definitely legit see this man as the face of the company for many years to come and everything. Of all the matches that's going to be going down at WrestleMania this weekend, this is one of those that I'm most looking forward to the most. And keeping that in mind, I see no reason why Austin Theory wouldn't walk out of WrestleMania still the United States champion. Nothing would please me more than to see him come out on the Raw after Mania, still holding on to that United States championship, rubbing it in the fans' faces, how he defeated their pride and joy, their boy, John Cena, putting the question out there, who's next and everything. Wonder if you circle back to Bobby Lashley, because if I remember correctly, for all intents and purposes, Bobby Lashley never definitively got that one-on-one matchup against Theory so that this could be just squashed once and for all. I wonder if maybe you go in that direction, or if maybe you set up Austin Theory with, because you know it's going to happen eventually. If he's not already inked a deal right now, you can't help but wonder when he's going to pop up in WWE. But if you maybe wanted to have one of the first people to pop up Raw after Mania to challenge Austin Theory for the United States title, maybe even win that title off of him, what about Matt Cardona? Just something to kind of float around there for you guys. You all sound off. Tell me what you think about that one. But as far as WrestleMania night goes, Theory retains the title. Seth frickin' Rollins taking on Logan Paul, one-on-one match. Big development right here in regards to this matchup. For the simple fact, originally, you know, you're looking at this and you're going, well, man, Seth Rollins, he's lost some pretty big marquee matches these past several months and everything. I guess that's going to continue here WrestleMania weekend, right? But then you hear the new news that dropped that Logan Paul, weird, because we were under the impression that Logan Paul had signed a multi-year deal with the WWE, because after all, that was the press release statement that WWE put out there. That was kind of something that Logan Paul kind of mention, but, to my knowledge, didn't really double down. And if anything, just, I signed a deal with the WWE. But now we find out that deal of his is basically expired after WrestleMania. So it turns out he pretty much had only did like a 1-year deal with WWE, and his last contractual obligation is to facing Seth Rollins at WrestleMania in this match. And then that's it for Logan Paul. Now, whether or not Logan Paul is going to be signing a new deal, I would imagine all of that is up in the air right now. Logan Paul is probably going to get with his camp, and honestly, it's a very smart tactical move that he did, because now that he has pretty much proven his worth, has delivered on quality, now he can put himself in a position where he can command an even higher price if he wants to. And he definitely would be able to get that higher price, I personally feel. But that's more down the pipeline. I hope, though, there is a part of me that hopes that WWE can work something out with Logan Paul, bring him back in again, a second rodeo and all of that. Somewhere down the road, I personally would love to see maybe a Logan Paul taking on a Brock Lesnar match, or give me Logan Paul and Montez Ford. That would be pretty interesting. Or give me a heel Randy Orton working with a Logan Paul. Talk about the ultimate test, honestly. But hopefully down the road, WWE Logan Paul's camp, they can work something out. Keeping that in mind, Logan Paul suffers his first WWE defeat here at WrestleMania. This is for Seth freaking Rollins. Should be a good match. Of all the matches, I think this is going to be a underrated sleeper hit of a match. I think this is one where you're going, oh, well, this should be fine. But I think this is going to exceed the kind of low expectations that most people are kind of playing about in their heads. You feel where I'm coming from? So I definitely feel this is the one where most people are going to say, hey, was not expecting, stellar performance, great outing from both guys. But Seth Rollins picking up the win. Yeah, for all intents and purposes, I wish it didn't have to go down this way. I wish that it was actually Logan Paul that picked up the win, and on his way out, boom, he's still undefeated. I wish it would go down that way, but I for some weird reason, I just don't feel it is. Especially when you look at the story arc, the way it's been laid out so far. Everything seems to strongly suggest that this is for Rollins to take. I'm going to go with Rollins. Trish Stratus, Lita, Becky Lynch versus Damage Control, Bayley, Dakota Kai, and Io Sky, 6-woman tag match. Tag titles are not on the line. Keep that in mind. The tag titles are not on the line. Not this weekend, folks. They are not on the line. I'm gonna go with, I've been thinking about this and I've been going off and on about this. I'm gonna go with the team of Trish Stratus, Lita, and Becky Lynch. We gotta see some type of a shakeup already with Damage it's control, but it's just you gotta have a switch up here. You do. I just feel that honestly at this point, this stable has run its course with the current formation, with this current team that it has. Seems as though maybe a new voice is needed. Maybe you kick Bayley out, Kai and Sky, they continue on. By now, there's got to be some type of dissension. There's got to be here. I don't like the idea of Trish Stratus going heel. I've seen that float around. I'm not really... So I'm led to believe that Trish is supposed to go heel and okay, let's say Trish goes heel. Let's say Trish goes heel. Here's how you make it interesting. Trish goes heel by joining Damage Control. If I were able to work things out and I'm able to have Trish Stratus stick around for a couple of months, then I'm going to have Trish Stratus help out big time and be with Bayley, be with Dakota Kai, be with Io Sky, and try to help boost that respected stable even more. And I got to tell you, now that I've put that out there, I am actually sold on that idea a lot more. So I am actually going to say Damage Control picks up the win. Trish Stratus gives an assist, defects over to Damage Control. That's the route I'm going with that one. Brock Lesnar versus Omos. This should definitely be a 3-4 minute type of match. There's no telling how long it's going to be before we see Brock Lesnar again on TV. It's interesting because there's some conflicting reports out there, but nothing that I've seen concrete yet that's been validated, verified by the reputable people that rarely miss, when they're reporting. But I'm seeing some scatter about out there that's saying Brock Lesnar is going to be appearing at WWE Backlash and one other event. I don't know how much of that rings true and all that. Usually from just what we all are accustomed to as wrestling fans, normally after WrestleMania, that's it for Brock. We don't see him for a couple of months. If anything, we don't see Brock Lesnar again until maybe about SummerSlam time, typically, and everything. So his status is really up in the air, is my whole point. I would love to see Omos come out of this with the win. It would definitely do him some good. It would be a nice rub off, especially if you're trying to really build this guy up even more. And he's got all the tools in the world to be, not since vintage Big Show, not since Andre the Giant. He definitely has all the capabilities in the world and then some of being a pretty strong, significant impact player of a powerhouse in the WWE and everything. I would love for Omos to go over in this one. I can't help but wonder, all things considered. Remember what I've been saying off and on from a couple of weeks ago? Hurt business, hurt business, hurt business, hurt business. And I've even toyed with the idea of, well, what if, and this was way before the stuff with Bray Wyatt had went down. I said, what if this is all a ploy to get Brock Lesnar in a gotcha position where ultimately everything backfires on Brock Lesnar and we see some form of a reunion with Hurt Business members, Cedric Alexander, Shelton Benjamin, MVP, Bobby Lashley. If now more than ever, if there was a time to try to do something with Bobby Lashley, since it looks as though he's not going to have anybody to dance with, now would be a good time to add some interesting swerves in here and all of that. I'm going to go for a twist on this one. I'm going to go with Omos, keeping everything that I said in mind. I just feel there's going to be a lot of trickery. There's going to be some shenanigans at play. You would just like to believe that there's no way, no how Omos MVP is going to go into this without some aces up their sleeve. I'm going to go with Omos on this one. Now, some of you guys may say, Lee, but shouldn't we kind of protect that mystique that's going about with Brock Lesnar? Because, after all, he defeated Undertaker. And, well, look, nobody said that Brock Lesnar has a streak. Nobody said, right? Brock Lesnar ain't got no WrestleMania streak going on that I'm aware of. They should have been mentioned it now on television if he did have some type of a WrestleMania streak going on. No. You want to pay it forward. You want to try to do what you can to build up the next generation of young guys. And Omos is only 28. He may seem a lot older because of how he moves in the ring and you, me, fight now, you know, but 28 years old, still very moldable and everything. I'm going to go with a shocking upset here. I'm going to go with Omos. Bianca Belair taking on Asuka, Raw Women's Championship. I see no reason why Bianca Belair would not walk out of WrestleMania still the Raw Women's Champion. I think the bigger question for this is what happens with Bianca going forward. You know, what happens with her, particularly coming out of WrestleMania. I feel as though maybe, I don't know why, but my gut instincts is telling me maybe somebody is going to pop up after Bianca retains her Raw Women's Championship. I mean, right there, WrestleMania night. I feel as though somebody that we haven't seen in a good minute, somebody that we're not even thinking about, is maybe going to pop up and get in the face of Bianca Belair and say, hey, I want a shot at that next. You know, if it were up to me personally, the way that I would have this all set up and everything, if it were up to me, I would personally love on this same WrestleMania card, I would love to see the new Damage Control with Trish Stratus pretty much as its leader come out there, beat the holy crap out of Bianca Belair. That would kind of be nice. And then maybe somehow you can kind of loop Bianca back to Lita, Becky Lynch, fused in that whole, right? That would kind of be a little bit interesting, but that's the thing with Bianca Belair. You know, obviously she has touched the lives of so many people, especially the young girls out there. Nobody really wants to pull that trigger and make her a heel and all that again. And look, that's all fine and dandy, but there comes a point where you got to freshen things up. And right now she is running low on fumes, and there's only but so many, you know, at this point, unless you're going to just do what you can until your draft and then swap champions. Maybe Bianca goes to SmackDown. At least you could get some fresh rivalries over there. You bring Charlotte back to Raw, unless you maybe are entertaining something like that. But yeah, it should be a good match though. This one between Bianca and Asuka. I'm actually looking forward to seeing these two girls lock up. Should be pretty good, but I'm seeing Bianca retain. Charlotte Flair going up against Ronda Rousey. Oh, so I wish. I wish. Rhea Ripley for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Great storyline, the way that they have laid this out. Of all the things that's going on in the women's division right now, this one, from what I've been seeing, I've enjoyed the most and everything. And I like the idea of Rhea needing to beat Charlotte Flair on two levels. One, she owes her a receipt. And two, if she really wants to be given her props, if she really wants to be looked at on that next level of a superstar, she has to beat Charlotte Flair. I like that whole scenario. I like that whole scenario. And I don't want to see no lame ass shit go down where the girls switch titles. Remember that? We saw that not that long ago. Who was it? It was Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair when they had exchanged titles on that episode of SmackDown. Remember that? I don't ever want to see stupid shit like that ever again. I say, if you're going to do title changes and all that, let it stay in play and don't let the respected champions swap shows until the draft goes into effect. I personally say. But I'm going to go with Rhea Ripley as the new SmackDown Women's Champion. But here's the thing. Ripley will still continue to appear on both shows in the interim. But once the draft kicks in, then pretty much she's exclusive because she has the SmackDown Women's title. She's exclusive. So the minute that she loses the title, it's a done deal. She's pretty much on SmackDown and everything. That might suck for some people, but remember, you got to freshen it up. So night 2, that was night 1. That was only night 1. So night 2, actually, you know what? Let's go with a quick recap of night 1. That way we can just solely focus on night 2. So once again, I'm going with Rhea Ripley becoming the new SmackDown Women's Champion. Asuka retaining the Raw Women's title. Omos getting in a win on Brock Lesnar. Damage Control defeating Lita, Becky Lynch with some help from some Stratusfaction. Seth Rollins defeats Logan Paul. Theory retains the United States title over John Cena. All right, now let's go to night 2. Rey Mysterio versus Dominic Mysterio. Forget about it. Hands down, Ray's got this. Being inducted into the Hall of Fame this same weekend too and all that. Yeah, hands down, Rey Mysterio. Should be a fun match though. I'm actually looking forward to seeing father and son interact, and this should definitely go down in a Dominic Mysterio heel chicken shit kind of way, where he's running around the arena trying to avoid his father at all costs and everything. I can see how this is going to play out. Should be good. Usos, Jay and Jimmy Uso take on Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, tag match for the undisputed WWE tag team titles. You gotta throw a curveball out there to set up your main event match of the night, which is, could this potentially be a preview of things to come in the main event match between Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns for the undisputed Universal Championship? You gotta switch the titles, man. You gotta go on ahead and you gotta switch the titles. I'm going with Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn as the new undisputed tag champions. Give the fans that good feel moment, especially for those Sami Zayn fans. Go ahead and give it to them. Braun Strowman and Ricochet versus the Street Profits versus Alpha Academy versus the Viking Raiders. Men's WrestleMania Showcase Fatal 4-Way Tag Match. A match I don't care about. I gotta be honest. A match I don't care about. Well, look, you got a running gag that's been going on right now where Alpha Academy, when it's counted the most, they have been coming up short on key wins time and time again. You definitely need to continue that here in this men's WrestleMania Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match. You got to continue that here because it's ultimately looking as though Otis is going to break away from Chad Gable and all that. So, and I know a lot of people have been going, I've seen this name being thrown out there, Bronson Reed. Maybe he can go in there with Chad Gable. That would be a very interesting pairing. Why not, let those guys do a little something? That would be a really great idea, especially if you are a fan of Charlie Haas, Shelton Benjamin, the Steiner brothers. That would be pretty badass and everything. I would love to see that, but I don't see that happening. If anything, I think that the person that ultimately would benefit tremendously by partnering up with Chad Gable and maybe eventually he'll turn on him and all that, I say you bring in Gable Stevenson. Gable Stevenson has the right type of look. He's got that smug, arrogant kind of look. I can see Chad Gable in storyline going out there and saying, hey, Otis did not appreciate my intellect. He did not appreciate what all I had to offer. He is favoring vanity over intelligence. You know, you could have Chad Gable kind of go in a Kurt Angle 3 eyes type of vibe. You feel where I'm coming from? But basically, when it's all said and done, Otis did not want to continue to learn from the learning tree that is Chad Gable. So as a result of that, he went out and he feels that he has found the best star pupil that matches his intelligence and yada, 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 yada. Enter Gable Steveson. We've seen him a couple of times already, and I'm not sure exactly where things stand right now, but because remember, when it came to the last WWE draft, they said this dude was drafted to Raw. Most people will have forgotten that, but I say you go on ahead, do something with those two. That seems more viable than Bronson Reed with Chad Gable. You guys can sound off. Let me know what you think about that one, but that's my personal pick. I don't see hardly any people actually nobody mentioning that. So we'll see what happens once I make this clip become available as a standalone, how many people are gonna bite into that one. But that long rant, I'm not seeing Chad Gable and Otis winning here. I'm not seeing the Viking Raiders. This feels like it's going to come down to Braun Strowman and Ricochet and the Street Profits. Well, I tell you what, if you really wanted to add more heat to that water, Street Profits losing to maybe continue to give fans that false narrative that maybe something's going to be happening pretty soon with Montez Ford as a solo act. So, I mean, you got one option there. A couple of different directions you could go with this one, guys. A couple of different directions you can go. My nose is itching. Give me a second, guys. Oh, that's better. Okay. Let's see. I am going to go with, man, I'm thinking about the good feel moment for the fans too, as far as the Street Profits go. Yeah, you got to have the red cups. You got to have the celebration on it. I was about to pick Strowman and Ricochet, but I'm going to go with, I'm going to go with the Profits. Liv Morgan, Raquel Gonzalez versus Natalya and Shotzi versus Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler versus Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville. Women's WrestleMania Showcase Fatal 4-Way Tag Match. I love Ronda and I love Shayna. I love those girls tremendously, especially Shayna Baszler. To the point, I got old photo of her when she was the NXT Women's Champion hanging on the wall here in the background. So, yeah, just going through this, yeah. Yeah, that's my pick. It's another match that I honestly don't really care about, but I love me some Ronda and Shayna. And I have been enjoying what they've been doing as a team as of late. So I'm going with them. Now, our main events are coming up here. Edge versus the Demon, Finn Balor, Hell in a Cell match. The return of the Demon. Oh, man. I would love to see the Demon, yo. Seriously, I would love to see the Demon, but I'm holding out hope that eventually some kind of a situation occurs where Judgment Day decides they want a new voice and Finn Balor is kicked out of Judgment Day. As a result, yeah, I got to go with Edge. I got to go with Edge for that sole purpose. I just see a scenario coming about where eventually Balor is kicked out of Judgment Day. I just see it happening. I don't know why, y'all. I don't know why, but I see it happening. I love the idea of Karrion Kross and Scarlett Bordeaux coming in there. I say start planting the seeds after WrestleMania that there's trouble in paradise there with Finn Balor and Judgment Day, you know, and ultimately right at about that time when the draft happens and everything, you kick Balor out, Kross comes in, boom, just like that. That'd be pretty good to do. Gunther defends the Intercontinental Championship against Sheamus, Drew McIntyre. Can you say banger? Can you say banger? Seriously, this is going to be a banger of a match. Gunther for the retain, no doubt. Gunther for the retain, no doubt. Yeah, that's going to be one ugly ass, hard hitting, very physical. We're going to see welts and all kinds of stuff on all those guys. That's going to be a insane match. Main event, Roman Reigns defends the undisputed Universal Championship against Cody Rhodes. So many people, including myself, are very, very confused on this one. We don't know where to go because on the one hand, this screams, well, Cody Rhodes, duh. But then on the other hand, you like that idea of the first Rocky movie. Steps up against the champion, takes the champion to the limits, but comes up just a little bit short. But then bring it back, round 2, gets the job done the second time. Here's the problem with that, though. Here's the problem with that. If you were to go with Roman Reigns defeating Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania, and you've already got the fans right there in the palm of your hands with a Cody Rhodes, good, well-developed, strong babyface run so far. Everything has just been chef's kiss with Cody Rhodes in the WWE. Even with the pectoral tear that was going on, they have been doing this guy justice, okay? But you risk Lex Lugerism. Shout out if you know your wrestling, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You don't do it here. Are you really sure? Are you really that confident that you'll get it the next rodeo? Because after all, Roman Reigns is so goddamn close to clocking in. What is it? 1,000 days? He needs what? Just another month or whatever. And he's going to have those 1,000 days as the undisputed Universal Champion. So do you let him hold it just a little bit longer and then have him drop it at SummerSlam against Cody? Is that the route you go? This is a very, very delicate situation. It really is. You could almost say that this match alone is almost like a double-edged sword. I don't know what to tell you guys on this one. Seriously, I am very undecided. I really, really am. This is one of those matches. Truly, I'm stumped. If you're gonna force me, I'm still stumped. I like the idea of the first Rocky movie. I gotta tell you, I find that to be here's the greatest problem you have in telling this Rocky story. Say Cody loses, right? Who's in his corner as he tries to get back to the dance to become champion? besides Brandy, who else? See, it'd be one thing if you were to say to me, well, Lee, he's going to eventually get Dustin back in his corner. We'll see Dustin pop up. Brandy's going to pop up. Diamond Dallas Page is going to pop up. QT Marshall is going to pop up, right? But out of those names that I mentioned, sadly, when it's all said and done, Brandy and DDP, that's pretty much it. So unless you're going to go in a direction where Cody loses, but the second chapter to this is going to be Diamond Dallas Page entering, because I did do research a couple of days ago before tonight's show, because I was curious what was going on with Diamond Dallas Page, because I remembered how he did sporadic appearances for AEW here and there. And far as I'm able to see, he is not tied to them, not even from a production standpoint. I know early on in the company's development, he was helping them out. They were doing stuff, using his home as post-production editing and all that other stuff, but not anymore, now that they're up and running. So that being the case, especially with ties to the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, who better to try and help take Cody over that last hill, doing the rematch against, if they could do it in a way where, remember the Shawn Michaels, I think it was Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart joint, where Shawn Michaels had that Mexican trainer that was helping him out, and we would see all these vignettes during the course of several weeks. I think if I remember right, that was the ultimate setup for the Iron Man match, if I remember right. So I could be wrong. Again, memory's a little spotty. I'm getting older. Forgive me. But yeah. I mean, unless you're going to go in that direction, of which fans can definitely get behind, this is one of those. But if I'm being forced to pick, I've rode with the man this long. I'm going to go with Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns retaining the undisputed Universal Championship. You've gone this long as champion. You're so close to 1,000 days. And just for the bragging rights and all of that, if you're just a month away, fucking go for it. Just clinch it and then drop it. Clinch it and drop it. So one more time, looking at the second night, I have Rey Mysterio over Dom, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn over the Usos to become the new undisputed tag team champions. Street Profits for that good feel moment, winning the Fatal 4-Way tag team match for the WrestleMania showcase. Ronda Rousey, Shayna Baszler winning the females WrestleMania Fatal 4-Way showcase. Edge over Demon Balor, Hell in a Cell. Gunther retains his Intercontinental Championship in a triple threat. Roman Reigns retaining his undisputed Universal Championship. That is how I am looking at this. And yes, I will be with you guys. We got more shows lined up. So once again, we've got this Friday, which is going to be March 31st, going the late Saturday night. I'll be with you guys, or actually early Saturday morning, I should say. Late Friday night, early Saturday morning. I'll be with you guys as soon as the Hall of Fame ceremony is over. We'll talk about the Hall of Fame. We'll talk a little bit about AEW Rampage as well. So if you guys are around, come hang out and everything. We'll probably do like a quick hour show, just talking about all of that, and then move it along. Many interesting wrestling news items. We'll talk about that on there as well. And then Saturday night, WrestleMania Night 1. I'll be live again with you guys as soon as the event concludes. So hop on over to all the respective outlets. Night 2, same thing. be with you guys Monday night for the Raw After WrestleMania show. And then after that, I'm going to be on a well-deserved week vacation. So definitely represent. Check out the next batch of shows that I got going down for you guys these upcoming days.